What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's good to see you today on the Speak and See Show. I ask that you like and subscribe and click that notification button so when I get information out, you can get information in. And can somebody say, hey, I still want my 10K?
Yeah.
In all the mess with the current events over the last year with Afghanistan, we got the supply chain issues, we got inflation, we got the truckers, we got the protesting of the border crisis, we've got the gasoline prices, we got the Ukraine now. And now let's not forget about the reason why all of us small businesses are in this predicament. COVID-19 mandates. That put us all here. That started off this whole chain of confusion and dilemmas that we're all going through right now. Other than that, it was great. It was perfect before all this COVID-19 started. But now small businesses have once again, because of all these things, been put onto the back burners and are being ignored, literally ignored by Congress and the Senate and the president right now during what could probably be the most important time in American history for free enterprise and small businesses. The same thing that built this country. This country was not built on Apple or Google or Facebook or Tesla or Ford. It was not built on that. It was built on the beginning of the small businesses getting into the dirt and grime, their ideas in the forefront of them pushing these ideas out there and doing things one small business at a time. And they grew and it grew and it grew into what I believe is the greatest place on earth, the greatest country in the world to live, the United States of America. God bless the USA, because if he doesn't, we can't do it ourselves. All right, guys, so let's get into this right now. I'm congress.gov. If you noticed exactly a year from today, last year on March 3rd, 2021, Maria Salazar referred to the House Committee on Small Businesses on HR 1533. That's what postponed and deferred your loans for one more year. Now, if we look at the... I have just been receiving comments from a couple of sources that have steered us in the right direction this year and given us a little bit of outlook on what's to come for the small businesses and the loans and the grants and stuff like that of what's happening. And if we look on this HR 1533, remember it was her and Sharice Davids along with Angie Craig and Musser and a few other congressmen and women and it was bipartisan, who extended and deferred these loans for another year. Now, I understand what everybody is going to be out there saying, look, I don't want it deferred. I want it forgiven, yada, yada, yada. Yes, that's the main goal here, is hopefully to see this forgiven in the future. But this is $1 trillion forgiveness that the small businesses are asking for. $1 trillion. It's not just going to be a write-off like check. They're going to take a bill to the House and forgive all the small businesses. It's not going to happen like that. We need more time, especially with everything that's going up in front of it, like the Afghanistan. It jumped up in front of it for how long? For months. Then you had the inflation and the gasoline prices. These stories jump up in front of our time to get this. So these times that we're hoping to get this deferred, time is creeping in to where you're going to have to start making payments on these things. And hopefully we can defer it for another 6 months before the election, which is coming up in November. Another 6 months would be closer to time. They'd be concentrating a lot more on small businesses because of all the voters that are going to be voting due to how the Congress and Senate is portraying small businesses at this time. So if we go here to Maria Salazar, we look at our co-sponsors, and I would like to implore each and every one of you to contact these people via Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever you got to do. But here we are. We had Maria Salazar. She's in Florida. Sharice Davids was a co-sponsor. Daniel Musser, Angie Craig, Billart, Antonio Delgado, New York. Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds was a big help on this as well. So I'll be contacting him as well and pushing for this to happen, give us another 6 months, because a lot of small businesses, or most small businesses, are still not out of the loop yet. They're still dealing with all these issues that basically the mandates have caused them in their businesses and have still caused them. So now we're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of small businesses with the mandates being lifted. But 6 more months would be great. We're going to go ahead and continue asking for a year, as I posted our other video up last week or a few days ago. We're asking for a year. Hopefully they'll meet us. Even if they meet us halfway for 6 months, at least we're closer to hopefully getting this EIDL loan forgiveness as well, and as well as the policy map being removed. And also I want to give a shout out to Jason McElhone, who has been pushing for this very hard. And Jason McElhone had just mentioned in his YouTube video that he put out the other day that Isabella Guzman was pushing for, or had mentioned, look, she wants to see all the policies have no effect on whether you lived here or there, regarding your zip code. She was saying she would like to see these plans implemented regarding your, not regarding your zip code. So if this, with the zip codes being pushed away, that would also take the policy map and throw that away. And remember, Ben Cardin is still putting out ideas right now in new bills with the IRC 45 code in it. 45DE is it, I believe. But whenever you see that, that means, yes, this code that he's putting forth is basically the policy map. So whenever we see IRC 45 still being implemented, it kind of takes it puts a pin right into our bubble and pops it, because Ben Cardin is still on board with this policy map. And until he gets off board with that policy map, or whether it gets voted out, whatever has to happen for Ben Cardin to realize that that policy map is taking money away from small businesses that were promised it. That's the key here. They were promised these small businesses were promised that $10,000 EIDL grant, regardless of size or location. That wasn't supposed to be in there, but he put it in there, and he's still leaning on that. So we need to see that removed as well. So once again, I want to implore all you all out there to contact these congressmen and women. Go to congress.gov and type in Maria Salazar at the top, or you can type in HR 1533 in the search engine in the up here, and it will give you all of the congressmen and women that voted for this to happen. And it was a big help with Nydia Velasquez, helped push it through too. One of the only good things that she has done for small businesses since she has been in that area. So once again, I want to give a quick implorement for all of you to do this, because it's nice to have it done, but it takes all of us. It takes all of us. When we bond together, that's where we're strongest. When we try to separate each other, then we become weaker. But that's not what we're about. We're here trying to bring unity to small businesses, trying to bring them closer and tie them together so that we can be greater and stronger in this effort. And I want to once again shout out to Jason McElhone, who has just put out a new website for and it's smallbiz.com, I think it is. I'll find out what that is, but he has been nothing but a great help to all the small businesses out there. He hasn't asked for a dime. He's guaranteeing a $1 a day, pay for a year. He's guaranteeing his services to you out there for the small businesses that are suffering and need some help with marketing and sponsoring. And I want to give a quick shout out. Shout out to him, because he's been a trooper and he's been a brother in all of this. I want to say thank you once again. So guys, we are still looking at getting this deferment. And once again, we need to see these restrictions taken away off of the policy map. It needs to go. If it doesn't go, then we have failed. If it doesn't go, then we have failed a lot of small businesses, and we can't let that happen. And like I said, guys, if we can get on and ask for a year, it's going to take at least 6 months before we can see any signs of forgiveness here, because these things that are popping up in front of us. I mean, we've got to agree that right now, Joe Biden's, he says even bigger than nuclear bomb threats and Russian-Ukraine war. Even the bigger threat is climate control. I disagree with that. I think the bigger threat is the nuclear war. I mean, I'd rather you can't enjoy the climate when you're dead. So I think it's a bbigger issue that we take care of the Ukraine and the nuclear threats that Russia is giving the world right now. And Jen Psaki just verified that it's the other day that is their main goal is climate change. And if climate change is in front of small businesses, all the money is going to go to climate change, and they wouldn't even think about forgiving small businesses if they think that's the bigger issue. So we need to make sure that the Biden administration jumps back on board with that, because that's ridiculous and we don't want that. And we also have the Republicans jumping up with every time Joe Biden sneezes or walks the wrong direction or says the wrong word, which is quite often, the Republicans take that as their priority to slam the Biden administration instead of grabbing the priorities of the small businesses and saying, look, we're going to take care of the small businesses right now and deal with them, because the Republicans are just as guilty as the Democrats right now for not taking care of small businesses the way that they should be taken care of right now. And we're going to continue fighting for those individually out there. Chelsea is out there. She's trying to get her loan. She even went to a homeless shelter with her children because she was denied these grants and loans from the SBA. Not cool. We're going to continue working for her as well, and her state officials are going to be hearing from us shortly on this, and it's not going to be very good if she hasn't gotten her loan or grants by then. So let's continue to fight for one another, continue lifting each other up, and figuring this out, how we can all get back on the same page with the SBA and how we can get this loan deferred for another 6 months, or we're going to push for a year. But once again, if you could all jump on Twitter, jump on Instagram and Facebook, and get with these congressmen. Let's not have those people that are just watch the video and click off saying, oh, good, we might get the loans deferred. Let's get some people out there that are actually going to be part of the solution, or be doers of the word and not just hearers of the word, as it's written in the Bible. And it applies to natural as well as supernatural life. So that's a piece of wisdom that we can all step in faith and do something about this if we get with our congressmen and women right now saying, look, we need this deferred for a year. Get with Byron Donalds, get with Salazar, get with all these people and saying, look, man, really, just go ahead and sign it over, because they can sign this to the SBA. And we believe, from what we've heard, the SBA is on board, and they are ready to take action on deferring this for another 6 months for you and me and everybody out there that still is in the inflation and all this COVID-19 mandate crisis. And we're just finally seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, let's keep it bright and let's keep moving forward in the future on this together. And once again, a shout out to Jason McElhone and all he's doing, guys. Have a blessed day. I'll talk to you later. And somebody say, hey, I want my 10K.
Somebody give it to me. Somebody give it to me. Somebody. Yeah. Somebody say, hey, we want a 10K. Yeah. Hey, we want a 10K. Yeah. Hey, we want a 10K. Yeah. Hey, we want a 10K. Give it to me. Me and my friends, we like to play this game. Some call us annoying, but we think it's a shame. All find time to chat and go live and get with the House and Senate on the phone and online. We even tweet the press when we feel like we're stuck on Bill
S513.
They'll say you're out of luck, but I think that it's time that they hear our voice, and then we say it louder because it's our choice. We say, hey, we want a 10K. We got it. We got it. Over 50,000 phone calls, even more emails. Speansee subscriber shows us how to prevail. Come on. They never stopped or doubted, even went to DC. Said speak, go to the White House and the Capitol, please. We got kicked off the doorstep of the senator, but it only fueled the fire, made us fight even more. Yeah. Now 8 months later, closing in on holiday, we can say with confidence we got our 10K. We singing, hey, we got our 10K.